So, here's a question for you. It's 2025 and you're looking for a new phone. You see an iPhone 8 available for a ridiculously low price. Is it a hidden gem, a nostalgic bargain that still gets the job done? Or is it just an electronic fossil, a piece of tech history that should probably stay in the past? This phone launched way back in 2017, which in smartphone years feels like a lifetime ago. It was the last of its kind in many ways, a final chapter before Apple fully embraced the all-screen Face ID future. But the real question is whether its core experience still holds any value today, 8 years after its debut. The tech landscape has shifted dramatically since the iPhone 8 was king. We now live in a world of foldable screens, periscope zoom lenses, AI integrated into every corner of our operating systems. Phones have gotten bigger, faster, and infinitely more complex. The iPhone 8, by comparison, is a simple device from a simpler time. It represents a fundamental smartphone experience without all the modern frills. So, pulling this phone out of the box in 2025 feels like a genuine time warp. The question isn't just about whether it works, it's about whether that classic experience is enough for a modern user. In this review, we're going to dive deep into that very question. We'll look at the design and that classic home button, something many people still miss. We'll test its A11 Bionic chip against the demands of today's apps. We are also going to examine its single-lens camera, in an era where 3 or 4 cameras are standard. And of course, we'll talk about battery life, which is always a major concern for a device this old. Is this phone a legitimate budget option, or are you just buying a headache? Let's find out. Ultimately, the goal is to figure out who, if anyone, should actually consider buying an iPhone 8 in 2025. Is it for the person who just needs a phone to call, text, and occasionally browse the web? Is it for the nostalgia enthusiast who wants to relive the glory days of Touch ID and a physical home button? Or is it for no one at all? A device that has finally been surpassed by even the most basic budget Android phones on the market today. We'll weigh the pros and cons to give you a clear, definitive answer. Let's get into it. The first thing you notice when you pick up an iPhone 8 in 2025 is the design. It's a complete throwback. You have these thick bezels at the top and thick bezels at the bottom, which feel massive compared to the edge-to-edge screens we're used to. And right there, centered at the bottom, is the legendary home button. It's not even a real physical button that clicks. It's a solid-state circle with the Taptic engine inside. For anyone who used iPhones before the iPhone X, this feels incredibly familiar and honestly a bit comforting. It's a direct, reliable way to navigate your phone. The build quality, however, is one area where the iPhone 8 still surprisingly shines. This was one of the first iPhones to feature a glass back to enable wireless charging, paired with a sturdy aluminum frame. When you hold it, it feels premium and solid. Not at all like a cheap plastic device. In fact, its rounded edges and compact size make it incredibly comfortable to hold, a stark contrast to the larger, sharper-edged designs of modern flagships like the iPhone 17. It's a one-handed phone in the truest sense of the word, something that has become a real rarity in today's market. But that small size comes with a significant trade-off. The screen. We're talking about a 4.7-inch Retina HD display. By today's standards, it feels incredibly cramped. Watching videos on YouTube feels constrained, scrolling through Instagram feels constrained. The resolution is sharp enough and the colors are decent for an LCD panel, but it lacks the punchy contrast and deep blacks of the OLED screens that have been standard on iPhones for years. At the heart of the iPhone 8 is the A11 Bionic chip. Back in 2017, this processor was an absolute powerhouse. It blew away the competition. But here in 2025, how does it fare? The biggest question for any old iPhone is software support. The iPhone 8 miraculously received the update to iOS 17 and even iOS 18. But that's where the journey ends. As of this fall, it's no longer receiving major OS updates. It will still get critical security patches for a while, but you're frozen in time, missing features coming in iOS 19 and beyond. This is a huge deal for longevity and security. So what does that mean for day-to-day performance? For the basics, the A11 chip is still surprisingly capable. Opening apps like Messages, Mail, Safari is relatively snappy, You can scroll social feeds on Instagram x TikTok without much problem. You might notice occasional stutters or longer load times compared to a modern device. The 2 gigabytes of RAM is the real bottleneck here. Apps will need to reload more often when you're multitasking. That can break your workflow and make things feel sluggish if you try to do too much. For demanding tasks, the A11 really shows its age. Modern, graphically intensive games will struggle. You might run them on the lowest settings. Expect dropped frames, expect slower performance, expect the device to get noticeably warm to the touch. This is not a gaming phone in 2025. Similarly, editing videos or applying complex photo filters can take a toll, leading to significant wait times. The chip was designed for 2017 software, not 2025 ES. So, performance is a mixed bag. For light use, calling, texting, social media, web browsing, the iPhone 8 is still functional. It gets the job done. The camera is another area where, honestly, the iPhone 8 feels like a product of a bygone era. It features a single 12-megapixel wide-angle lens on the back. Modern budget phones with multiple lenses. You don't get the versatility of zooming out for a big landscape shot, or getting up close for detailed macro photography. You have one field of view. That's it. Digital zoom is your only option for getting closer. Digital zoom causes significant loss of image quality. In good lighting, that single lens can still produce decent photos. Colors are natural, there's a good amount of detail. Fine for social posts and quick snaps. Point, shoot, get a reliable image. But compare it to a modern smartphone and the limitations are obvious. Dynamic range is weaker. Bright skies can blow out. Dark shadows lose detail. Challenging conditions expose it. Low light struggles. No night mode. Photos are often dark, grainy, and full of noise. The same goes for portrait mode. iPhone 8 Plus had dual camera hardware. Portrait. iPhone 8 has software portrait, rudimentary and often fails edge detection. Front-facing 7MP sensor, just okay. Fine for FaceTime and quick selfies in good light, but not award-winning. Video is a slight bright spot, 4K at 60 fps. But stabilization isn't as smooth as newer cinematic stabilization. Ultimately functional for documentation, but lacks creative tools, quality, and versatility. Let's talk about the 2 most important factors for anyone considering an iPhone 8 in 2025, battery life and price. An 8-year-old phone is going to have an 8-year-old battery, and after years of use, its health will be significantly degraded. It is highly unlikely that an iPhone 8 will last you a full day of even moderate use. You'll probably find yourself reaching for a charger by mid-afternoon. If you buy one, you should absolutely factor in the cost of a battery replacement. Now for the price. This is where the iPhone 8 becomes somewhat tempting. You can find refurbished or used models for around $100, maybe even less. For that price, you're getting a phone with the Apple logo, access to the App Store, and a build quality that still feels great. On paper, it sounds like an incredible deal. For less than the price of a fancy dinner, you can own a piece of the Apple ecosystem. But you have to remember what you're giving up. Software updates, modern performance, a versatile camera, and all-day battery life. So who should actually buy this phone? The iPhone 8 in 2025 is for a very specific type of user. It could be a great first phone for a kid, where the low cost means you won't be devastated if it gets lost or broken. It's also a solid choice for an older adult who just needs a simple device for calls, texts, and maybe some light browsing. Or it could be for the nostalgia seeker who truly misses the home button and wants a small, one-handed device as a secondary phone or just for fun. For these users, the low price justifies the compromises. For everyone else, the iPhone 8 is a bust. If you rely on your phone for work, for creating content, for gaming, or for staying on top of the latest apps and features, this is not the device for you. You will be frustrated by the sluggish performance, the poor battery life, and the outdated camera. For just a little more money, you can find a much newer, more capable budget Android phone or a refurbished iPhone SE that will offer a vastly superior experience and longer software support. So the final verdict is clear. The iPhone 8 is a nostalgic curio and a niche budget buy, but its time as a practical daily driver is officially over.